I'm Travis Downey.
And I'm Adam Pruitt.
And this is week 5 of the Northwest Florida Daily News' Prep Football Blitz, where each week we kind of get you guys set for the week that is. And Adam, looking at last week, week 4, had some big games. Just running through the scores real quick. Navarre, they even their record to 2-2. They beat Milton 28-7. Crestview, they fell on the road to Pace 37-13. Niceville in a shootout with Choctaw, they won 50-40. Fort Walton Beach, they breezed by Gulf Breeze 42-13. Freeport beat Weewa 35-16. Walton over Vernon 49-7. Rocky Bayou, they fell to Pleasant Home 37-0. And Baker, South Walton, Baker won that one 35-33. So, Adam, taking a quick look back, like we like to do, week 4 small schools, what stood out to you?
I mean, obviously you got big wins by Walton and Freeport, but I think that game between Baker and South Walton was really big. I may have said more about South Walton than even Baker. South Walton is really putting up points now, but I think against a tough District 4 like Baker, they would probably a heavy underdog, and to come within 2 points and possibly pull out a victory is huge for them. But you got to give it to Baker. They're 1-0 in the district. Mm-hmm. They're looking to win a district title and certainly be in the playoffs. That's a good start for them, and it's also promising for South Walton.
Right. I think looking at the big schools, it's kind of a broken record, but Luke Barnes with another big week. Gulf Breeze was the opponent, 303 yards and a touchdown, both on the air and on the ground. And I was really impressed, and this was a game you covered. Choctawhatchee, not their defense, their offense this week. David Weber really just seemed to find himself. He threw for 281 yards and 2 touchdowns. You know what you're going to get with Lakeith Robinson. He's a hard-nosed runner. He had 119 yards and 2 touchdowns. In their last 2 games, they had scored 24 points. Choctaw on offense this week scores 40, so I was really impressed with that.
Very much so.
Going ahead, looking at week 5 with our picks, we'll start with the Freeport at Franklin County.
I think Freeport will probably win this one big. They look like they're hitting their stride. Maybe one of the more unsung kids in the area, Nathan Hendrickson, is just having a phenomenal year so far, and he seems like he's scoring 2 or 3 touchdowns every game. I think that's going to be plenty.
Yeah, I like Freeport in that game as well. Rocky Bayou at Bozeman.
Rocky Bayou's really struggling. Bozeman's perennially a pretty good team. They gave Baker a good game earlier in the year, and they should probably win this one pretty handily.
These seem like 2 teams going in different directions. Rocky Bayou, of course, won their opener, and they've dropped 3 straight. Bozeman had dropped 3 straight before winning last week. I'm also going to go with Bozeman. That brings us to Cottondale at South Walton.
I'm going to go with South Walton here. I've been told that South Walton's never beaten Cottondale. To me, this just seems like South Walton's year. They're putting it together, everything offensively, and all you got to do is score 1 more point than your opponent. So as long as the defense holds, I think they'll win this.
It's been a season of first so far for South Walton. I'm going to go with the Seahawks as well. Chipley at Walton.
Walton's bounced back, nicely from a tough loss earlier in the year to FAMU, I believe.
FAMU, yeah.
And again, they're a team that's starting to click now, and I think they'll win really big in this one as well.
Yeah, Isaac Jackson continues to kind of pound the ball for them. 153 yards last week. I'm gonna go with Walton as well. That'll bring us to Choctaw at Milton.
Choctaw's just a classic case of needing to put everything together. Their defense had looked improved, but Niceville scores, and just scores constantly on them. First play of 3 different drives they score with long touchdowns. So, if Choctaw can get that good, nice, balanced effort of good defense, good offense, that's going to be a formidable team. And, I think they'll pick up a win in this one. Milton's been struggling, and I think Choctaw's on the verge of being really good.
I've seen Milton twice now, and on each occasion they haven't really impressed me, especially offensively. They've had quarterback problems there. I'm going to go with Choctaw as well. That'll bring us to Navarre on the road at Mosley.
Mosley's 3-0 right now. Navarre they're a really inexperienced group. It just doesn't seem like they're that consistent. They're coming off a nice win. Mosley's been good down the line. I saw both teams last year. Navarre beat Mosley, but Mosley was really talented. Okay. So I think on the road, Navarre doesn't win this one. I'm
going to go with Navarre just for the fact that I think they finally found themselves on offense. They've put Michael Pettis under center, letting him kind of run and throw. And then Quamaine Howard, 188 yards last week. I'm going to go with Navarre on the road in the upset. And that'll bring us to our game of the week, Bucholz at Niceville.
you know, these are two former district opponents, which makes it big, and a team from Gainesville is obviously going to be good. I'm going to go with Niceville. Their offense last week was just amazing. Roy Finch has been really good, but this was probably his breakout game. They looked good all the way around. Cody Williams was fantastic receiving and on his special teams. And, as long as their defense plays well, Niceville's going to be hard to beat.
Speaking with Coach Hicks earlier today, that defense may be getting some key pieces back this week. So I'm going to go with Niceville also. I think that's a game the Eagles will win at home and going to go to 5-0, hopefully for them, for the third straight year. Well, that'll do it for Week 5 of the Northwest Florida Daily News' Prep Football Blitz. We'll see you next week.